What's going on, guys? Satsuki the Savage here, and today I'm going to be giving my first impressions of Dororo. The pilot episode of an anime, or any series for that matter, is a lot like an audition because you have this window of time to impress the viewers, and you have to show something to make the viewers more interested in watching the next episode or anything like that. It has to be something, whether it's the premise of the show, whether it's a good manga behind it, good studio, good fan base behind it, hype. Something has to keep you interested to say, I want to watch the next episode. So the question in this video is, does Dororo have something to make you want to watch more? And the answer is, yes, it does. I have to say, I got a good first impression of this show. The first episode did a good job keeping me interested in the story. And let's talk about the story because the synopsis kind of spoils things because the first episode doesn't cover exactly what the synopsis states. But let me just read it. A samurai lord has bartered away his newborn son's organs to 48 demons in exchange for dominance of the battlefield. Yet, the abandoned infant survives thanks to the medicine man who equips him with primitive prosthetics, lethal ones with which the wrong son will use to hunt down the multitude of demons to reclaim his body one piece at a time before confronting his father. On his journey, the young hero encounters an orphan who claims to be the greatest thief in Japan. Alright, so with that synopsis, the first vibe I got from the show just based on the synopsis alone was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because you have the main character trying to get their body back, but it's a different case because he never had his body in the first place, okay? He was born without eyes, a nose, even skin, like damn. And this, if you did not know, this series was published way back in 1967. So this is an old school manga having a new anime. Like, so if you think this story tried to jack Full Metal Alchemist swag, nah, Full Metal Alchemist jack Dororo swag. And already I'm intrigued by the characters that were introduced just in this first episode. The first being Daigo, because he's the first character that we see. We see that he actually sacrifices his son in order to protect his land and to gain power. And he's interesting because he's already basically given up part of his humanity to get what he wanted at the time. And it was kind of for a noble reason because his land was just bombarded with famine and disease. So he was trying to do the right thing, but at the cost of his newborn son. Now, of course, he didn't know that his son was going to pay the price for what he asked for, him making the deal with the 12 demons, but he knew the risk going in. And then you have Daigo's two sons, the firstborn being Hyakimaru. Now, they haven't said his name in the show yet. I got his name from my anime list because they list the characters and everything. But of course, this is the doll-looking man, teenager, all right? Because I think he's like 15 or 16. You know, the kid who actually lived and survived that curse with no skin and everything. And he is the one who was looking for his body parts. And we actually see in this episode, he got his face back after he killed that one demon. So we're going to see him reclaim more body parts as he kills more demons, all right? And since Hyakimaru is the firstborn, he technically is the heir to Daigo. So if something were to happen to Daigo to where he dies, then Hyakimaru should take over everything that Daigo has, because Daigo has two sons, but I don't know if Daigo knows that Hyakimaru is alive. He may know because he has that scar which basically kind of flares up whenever some demon ghoul shit happens. So he may know that he's still alive, but then again, he may not acknowledge him since when he was born, he basically sent him to die. And then you had the second son, Tahomaru. He seemed like a good guy just from the little bit that we've seen from him because he was trying to help his mother grow strong. And that's another thing. The mother may be sickly or at the very least just weak since he tried to give her a dove to make her strong. But he is the second son, and of course, since Yakimaru is kind of out of the picture, he should be the heir to Daigo, at least the one that's acknowledged and in the public eye of everybody else. And then you have the guy who's walking around the battlefields giving prosthetic limbs to dead bodies, and he's obviously the guy who gave the prosthetics to Yakimaru. So I wonder if he's going to have some type of role in the story as well. Why is he giving limbs to dead bodies? Is it just to pay respects to the dead, or, you know, what is it about him? And lastly, you have the boy himself, Dororo. Now, in the first episode, he's already getting his ass whooped. Like, that's how you start a series. Having your main character get his ass pummeled into the ground, all right? And he deserved it because he's going around stealing, thieving, scheming, finessing, and eventually your luck runs out, buddy, all right? And it's weird because he is the character in which the series is named after, but he doesn't seem like the center of the story. It seems like Yakimaru is the focal point, yet Dororo is the guy in which the series is named after again. And I wonder how that dynamic is going to work between the two, because obviously Dororo and Yakimaru are going to be traveling together and they're going to be getting his body parts. So I wonder why he's going to travel with him in the first place and what his role is actually going to be. Also, I forgot to mention, the opening is some heat. The opening is fire as hell. Like, I was listening to the opening, I was like, yeah, hey, I was like, yo, I was turning up. Like, the opening is some heat. I usually don't pay attention to openings unless they are some fucking heat. Like, this was like, the opening was pretty damn good. But that is pretty much it for my first impressions of this series. The winter season is already treating me right. Like, fall season was abusive. Like, fall, I didn't really like fall, man. I just had to go away. Winter season was treating me right. And why the fuck? Why the fuck? It's supposed to be a cold season. Why is there so much heat with this season? Mob Psycho, Dororo is already starting off right. I gotta watch The Promised Neverland today. Like, man, we got some shit with winter, all right? But like I said, Dororo, if you haven't checked it out already, I recommend that you check it out because it seems like it's a good series. But that is it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Satsuki the Savage, out.